Do you currently feel inspired by your workspace, or do you walk into it and feel claustrophobic and overwhelmed and frustrated? I'm going to show you guys my setup. I'm going to show you guys how well it flows for me and why I did the things that I did. I will also show you, I'll let you know like where I got these supplies and like the little shelves and everything too. And yeah, I'm just going to show you guys how it works for me, because I know that if I'm in a cluttered space where I feel like I constantly have to like move something to do something, it makes me so angry, and then I lose focus like immediately, and then I feel like I can't do what I came in there to do. That this is literally just half of my bedroom. I have 2 shelves, like 2 floor shelves, and then I have 4 of like these little guys here, and then my easel. And that's really all I work with, and it's everything I need. So let's get started. I'll show you guys how I've got this set up. Welcome. Please like and subscribe for more art content just like this. So first off, here is my desk space. It is not super clean right now, and that's okay. I have some receipts to put away. I have this cute little like marker organizer, I think that I got from Target. The lamp I think I got from Goodwill. Like everything here is very reasonably reasonably priced, and this is where I do like all of my work at. And then you can see I have a couple oil paintings that are just curing there. I've got my little like tabletop light here, and yeah, that's where I do like most of my stuff. We're gonna start here with these IKEA shelves that I got. I snagged them on clearance because there wasn't screws in the boxes, and I have 6 billion screws at my house because we have a wood shop here. So I snagged those. They were only a few bucks each, I think like $5 to $7 each, and they have worked phenomenally. I love that they have a little lip on them so that nothing, can fall off. So the way I have these organized is all my acrylic inks are right here, and I've got all of them so I can pretty much see the colors pretty well. I also have a pretty good memory bank of the colors that I have on hand, but this way I can really see them, especially because there's a lot of ink, on the tips. Okay, and next to my inks, I have my projector. I would get a projector if you are an emerging artist and you are still working on getting proportion correct, if you are working on getting scale down, if you are working on basically just getting things precise, this is a really good place to start. And I think this projector was only like 30 bucks. I've heard some people who are really pretentious say that, oh, well, if you have a projector, it's cheating. It's definitely not. Like, do what you need to do to create the art that you want to create. These guys are awesome. I would definitely recommend getting one. And then over here, I've got some pastels. I think these are the oil. Yeah, I've got oil pastels. And then these are the Caran d'Ache, the aquarelle. They are water-soluble crayons, essentially, and those are really fun. I've played with those just a little bit, but they're really fun to use. I've got my daughter put lavender in here, like next to my little crystal. Of course, we have to have crystals here. This is my wax sealing kit that I got from a local place. She is absolutely wonderful. I'll actually link her down below. She's got amazing stuff if you are into stationery. She's incredible. And then, of course, my little crystal here. And then I've got some of my, some of my oil mediums and solvents and stuff over here. And I've got Gal Kid, which I use all the time. Gamvar Satin Gloss, Gamvar Gloss, and then I've got some linseed oil as well. And then I've also got the cold wax medium, and I've used that very, very briefly. I got like these little bottles, and this guy, and I think this guy came in like a little kit for Gamblin, like starter kit for oil painting, and I'm happy with it. I used, quite a bit of it. If I can find it, I'll go ahead and link it below, but I think it's a really, really great starter kit for anybody who is just starting with oils and kind of wants to try out a few different mediums and see what works for them. And then I've got my handy dandy scale tool here that I made. I think I showed you guys in another video, this guy too, but that was really fun to make. I've got my Nike drawing that I did that I just was really proud of, and so I left it here so that I can look at it when I'm painting, when I kind of need a pick-me-up if, I'm not feeling so great about what I'm doing. Hard molding paste is what I use on my background of most of my paintings to add some texture and also to use less paint. I made another video with the hard molding paste as a, as a medium on the, like as a substrate basically, where I compared tons of different products on a hard molding paste prepped canvas and a standard prepped canvas, and I would definitely check it out if you have been thinking about using this, because you use like a bunch less material and you also get more vivid colors with it. So Anyways, this is like one of my favorite items. Light molding paste. I have only used light molding paste a few times and I have really liked it. The only problem that I have with it is that it is really difficult to varnish. It still has like a very strange texture when you varnish it. So unless you're doing like most of your painting with that, or like I think basically like my painting just didn't like, or my paintings didn't really work out the way I wanted them to work out with this. And it's a very like niche product. So I don't know if I'm going to get more of that, but the hard molding paste I use all the time. Gloss gel medium. This stuff is fantastic too. This is another acrylic medium that is wonderful and adds texture, and it's glossy when you're done with it. It basically makes everything like just like juicy. And then slow dry medium for acrylic. I love using this one when I know I'm going to have to take some time with my paintings, or like when I'm outside and I am working in the heat, because acrylic, like just the air just soaks up all of the liquid in it. And so I will use this to mix with my acrylic paints when I am working in the heat. Obviously inside it's not too hot in here, so I haven't used that inside quite yet, but I use it outside all the time. Glass bead gel. I actually just got this yesterday and I am really excited to use this because it just looks like it's going to add a really amazing texture. So I'm honestly super stoked to use it, and I will post a video showing you guys how I use it and what I use it on, so that you can check it out and see if it would work for you. I have some Kamar varnish. This is the satin finish, and I use this on you know, on all of my like acrylic paintings essentially. If they're just acrylic. On my oil paintings I use different stuff, but on this stuff it's great for like watercolor. It's great for sealing watercolors. It is great for sealing charcoal paintings, like all sorts of stuff. I've got my fixatives over here. This is the one that I use inside because it's odor free and non-toxic. The only thing with this, because it is not an aerosol can, is it can get like the droplets can get kind of big. So just be careful if you get this one, like don't spray it too close to your drawing or whatever you're sealing, because if you have something that's water soluble, it will drip. This is my favorite fixative in the whole world, but I have to use it outside and leave my painting outside for like a half hour because it is very smelly and I don't want to be exposed to that. Mod Podge. If I do any kind of collage, I use Mod Podge for it. You can also use the gloss gel medium for collage, but I just love Mod Podge. I use it all the time. Over here is all of my graphite, and I've got some charcoal in here as well. And then I picked these up the other day. This is like the whitest white and the blackest black. They are so cool, and they're really solid and fun to use. But yeah, all my erasers over here. Whoops. There he goes. I picked up this stuff too, which is like, it's basically like a kneaded graphite, and it's amazing. It's water soluble as well. And it is just like super fun to use. So if you're into graphite charcoal drawings and stuff like that, this would be a really fun one to play with. And then I've got like my favorite, my Lyra, you know, water soluble graphite pencils over here that I love, some blenders, and you know, all that jazz. So that's what I have on these two shelves. And like I said, it's good to have them laid out so you can see everything, so everything's easily accessible to you. And if you have an idea, you can go, oh, I can use this and this for whatever I want to do. All right, next we are going to talk about paint shelf. And I will show you guys how I have this organized. I actually got these little clear buckets last week from like the Target dollar section. So they were $5 each, and they are wonderful. They are great. I just think I might need more because I have some paints that are like, you know, stacked on top of them. But I mean, that's fine. As I go through paint, it'll be okay, and I'll make room for them. So I've got my acrylics over here, and the way that I have them organized, I've got my whites and my blacks up top here. First half of the rainbow, second half of the rainbow. And that's just how it makes sense in my brain. So that's how I choose to do that. I've got my little rib tool over here to spread the hard molding paste on. And then I use this a lot for paint to get texture on my canvases as well. I've got my giant bucket of brushes, which is just a planter from the local nursery that I thought was really cute. And it's served me very well, and it's been able to fit all the junk that I put in there inside of it. Over here, let me pan it over a little bit. Over here are my oil paints, and as you can tell, I have a lot less oil paints than I do acrylics. I do a lot of acrylics first and then I like finish off with oil paints because I am somebody who likes to move very quickly, and acrylics dry really fast and oils don't. So I like to just finish off and do what I need to do in oils and do the rest of them in acrylics. And I use the oils as the finish because oils will, the way that oils work is they actually work different with your eyes. It's because of the molecules and how they work and that they're natural pigments, whereas acrylic paints are plastic based. And so they don't basically have the ability to like pop off the page or move back. Like oils do. I would recommend looking more into that. I learned that from the Milan Art Institute before I even enrolled in the mastery program, and I thought that was so crazy. And then since I started using oils in my paintings as well and learning that color theory, they have like drastically changed. So anyways, the way that I have these guys organized, and this is what I use the green tape for, is all of my cools are green taped, and then I write whether they are opaque or transparent on them with a Sharpie because that is an important tidbit of information to have as well. And then all of my warms I don't do anything with except write the transparent or opaque. So I've got all my warms here and then all my cools here, and then I have my neutrals up top, and that helps me kind of keep them organized where they need to be. All right, next shelf, I've got this little guy. I just sometimes need to mix a little bit of something on here, and that's what I've used it for. It's just like a little tiny mixing palette. This guy is, it's a cornstarch lid that I hot glued dots on to wash my brushes. And so I use this to wash my brushes out. And then this one is actually the lid to a candle, and I use this for glossing. And so I will put like my Gamvar on this, and then I will gloss my painting, and then I'll wash this out, and then it'll be ready for next time. And then I've got my Posca markers here. I love these guys. They are absolutely amazing, and they really elevate my paintings to the next level. I've got my alcohol inks here with a couple little, like there's some little glitters in here and stuff like this, but mostly it's alcohol inks. And then I have a couple oil pigment sticks in there as well. And next I've got isopropyl alcohol because that interacts with, I mean, just like the alcohol inks here, that interacts with acrylic paints and creates a really, really cool like acid look to it. It's kind of fun. I've got Gamsol here. So these are my solvents that I mainly use. Gamsol, and then the Eco House extra mild citrus thinner. This one definitely smells like oranges. This one doesn't have a whole lot of smell, but there is like a little odor to it. But both of these I've used inside, and I just like, I open the window, like not all the way, but I crack it just to get a little bit of airflow through here. And I've been totally fine, and they've been really easy to use. I love them. And then I've got more Gamvar down here just because I just restocked, because I just have the little jars up there. So I have gloss and I have satin. I use the gloss on stuff that I use like metallic elements with, basically. And then this Kozica Dryer Blend, that is another one that I learned about through Milan Art Institute. It's a fast dry medium to add to your oil paints so that they'll dry in a few hours instead of like a few days. And then you can go in and you can, you know, add another layer to them, or you can, you know, varnish them, whatever you need to do a little bit quicker. And then over here, this is just my jars of solvents, and then like my sludge jars from the solvents. I just make sure that I write down which one is in which because I don't want to be mixing those. And on the bottom shelf here, my handy dandy blow dryer is just kind of always like hanging around. He's just always plugged in, ready to go. I've got my paper towels here, and then I have my alcohol ink markers, excuse me, that I use for backgrounds and stuff like that. And on occasion I'll use them on the top of acrylic paintings, but not as much. And then I've got my oil pastels, my little pack of oil pastels back there. Or chalk pastels, excuse me. I don't think those are the oil ones. Yeah. So anyways, that's my one shelf, and that's all the materials that I use essentially. And then I'll show you guys how I use the other shelf adjacent to it. So I've got this other shelf that's actually a planter that I got from IKEA for like 60 bucks. And I have my papers there. This is a paint by number that my mom actually got me for Christmas, and I worked on it for like several hours at her house, and then I brought it home and I haven't worked on him since because I've been doing other stuff. But So I have that there. I have a small easel in the back there. This is my cotton rags for oil painting, and so those are all my clean ones. And then I have some little canvas boards over there if I want to do a smaller project. I keep all my, and you can tell that this, okay, sorry. So I keep some of my like close to finished paintings down here, finished paintings down here. And then these guys are still wrapped. These canvases are still wrapped. And so I've actually been using those as like a backdrop when I need to do like a drippy wet, you know, background, and I need something to lay them on because we are inside and I can't get the inside all gross like I can with the exterior. So that's where I keep those, and then I have my little newsprint here for, you know, for doodles and all that jazz. And then this guy over here, I actually set up on top of this when I paint, and so I set my palette up there, I set my thinner up there, or my water. That's where I lay my brushes out, and I lay out, you know, basically all the materials that I'm going to use for my painting. And last but certainly not least, I've got my easel, which my dad built me, which was so sweet. I literally came to him one day and I was like, Dad, I need like a bigger easel to be able to do bigger stuff on. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And he built me this easel. So I have this guy, which I absolutely love. I put a board on him with some clips so that I can, you know, if I'm using paper or, you know, or whatnot, I can kind of hang it up there. And then I also have, I found this color mixing guide at Blick Art Materials, and I thought it was really cool because it's got all the oil colors on there that I normally use. And then it shows like, hey, if you basically mix these 50-50, you get this color. And color is definitely something that I tend to struggle with, color story. So I'm working on that, and this is a huge help. I also have my grayscale finder here, and this has been extremely helpful too, because I have a, you know, you can honestly see it like in this painting, like everything is like a mid-tone right now. There's like some lighter tones, but when you take this and you look at it, you can tell that a lot of it is like really still stuck in like mid-tone range. So I'm waiting for him to dry because he's an oil painting that I just like worked on last night. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add a lot of highlights to him because I want him to be like really bright and to pop out. So I'm going to, you know, pull him out a little bit. So anyways, yeah, that is essentially, I've got more canvases that are kind of like tucked behind here. And then, you know, I've got other stuff that I work on, you know, just kind of stacked up. But this is my workspace. Oh, and then I have a light. Because I definitely need better lighting in here because I just have one boob light in the middle of the room, and that does not help like at night when I'm trying to paint. And so yeah, so I have this light that we installed up here, and then I have some LEDs too, but that one's very helpful just for being able to see everything that I need to see on what I'm currently working on. So I know it looks a little bit like chaos from back there, but as you guys can see in the video, it really is organized, and this is everything that I use. Which I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Like, I think that buying art supplies is like half the fun of being an artist, and so I try really hard to make sure that I only buy what I need, and if I see something that I really like that I want to try, I do a lot of research on it first before I go out and get it. So that is literally everything that I use and how I've got it organized. I'm gonna post a lot of links for you guys down below. I'm probably gonna be working for the next hour on just posting links. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.